Frustrated after being swept right out of Milwaukee. Now the corner of 3rd and King is a most welcome sight as Madison Bumgarner takes his 3-0 record into tonight's game against Western Division rival San Diego. Game 1 of the series next. The Giants have left all the cold, rainy, miserable weather behind them in the Midwest. Back home where the weather is fabulous here at 24 Willie Mays Plaza as the Giants and Padres open a 3-game series. Hello everyone, I'm John Miller with Mike Krukow. Welcome to Giants baseball, and the Giants not only happy to be home but needing to make up some ground after getting swept by the Brewers. The Giants starting pitching has been a little bit shaky here lately, which is really the foundation of the Giants' success. Madison Bumgarner tonight, and he has been excellent in all 3 of his previous starts. The Giants are 3-0 in those games.
Well, he 3-0 and a 1.7 ERA. I mean, he's been fantastic. He's been the one sign of consistency in what is normally a very consistent rotation. They're hitting a rough spot right now. So, some things that would be nice to happen tonight. Get off to a good start, Madison Bumgarner. Put some early zeros up there. Just sort of let that offense settle in. The other thing, too, take advantage of 24 Willie Mays Plaza. There's no better place in the world as in regards to home field advantage, and I think tonight you need to really rely on that energy.
Now, Buster Posey's back in the lineup, still trying to find his stroke. One thing that the Giants have been excited about has been the offense of Brandon Crawford, and he's up in the number 6 spot in the order tonight to take advantage of his hot hitting.
Brandon Crawford really is the kind of guy that makes hitting instructors just beam with pride because of what he's doing and how he's doing it. It isn't anything that's going to be going away. He's going to have a good year with the bat. However, if there's a good thing going on with some of your hitters, there's always a couple of guys who are struggling. And right now, Buster Posey is the kingpin who is looking for a swing. And the Giants are hoping that he can put together a swing here at home. If it means anything, he had a great batting practice session today. He was able to correct a couple of mechanical flaws, and I'm sure he's optimistic coming into tonight's game.
All right, so the Giants with Bumgarner up against the Padres Volquez on a beautiful night in San Francisco. Stay tuned as we'll take you to the Comcast Sportsnet studios for an update with Greg Papa and Rich Aurelia right after these messages. Park in San Francisco. And certainly, while our thoughts and our prayers are certainly with those in Boston and the atrocities that were committed there earlier this week, and then the rather amazing day and night in Boston. Maybe we're all thinking about that, but we're going to try and bring you this ball game here at the Giants and the Padres. And from the Giants, a game where they're trying to get themselves turned around. Madison Bumgarner, who has been outstanding for the Giants, is on the mound tonight.
Well, Madison Bumgarner has been the rock since the very first day of this season. And he's the kind of guy you want out there when there's other stories around the ballpark. And today in the Giants clubhouse, the television was on with what was happening in Boston. And it was hard to maintain a focus for everybody in that room. But Madison Bumgarner is the guy you want to give him the ball to. And he's going to try and get them back off this miserable road trip in Milwaukee and get them on a win streak.
So this is what we do, and we're going to endeavor to do that. The Giants and the Padres opening a 3-game series. We'll be back with the lineups and the first pitch next. Stand for the Giants. Here's the Padres batting order, brought to you by your Northern California Honda dealers at shophonda.com. It'll be Chris Denorfia, center field. Everett Cabrera, shortstop. Both of them hit home runs against Clayton Kershaw the other night in L.A. Chase Headley back in there after opening the year on the DL. He's at third. Guzman in left. Alonso at first. Jerko, excellent rookie second baseman, hitting sixth. Kyle Blanks in right. Nick Hundley, the catcher, and Edinson Volquez is the pitcher. And Madison Bumgarner on the mound for the Giants. And here we go. A beautiful night in San Francisco. And a called strike.
On the hill tonight for the Giants will be Madison Bumgarner, and this is what he has done in 3 starts. He has been fantastic. Just 20 base runners and 20 in the third. 17 strikeouts against 7 walks. He's just been a model of consistency. His best weapon is that 90 to 93 mile an hour cut fastball that he'll throw a lot. You'll see a lot of broken bats, a lot of ground balls. He has a curveball. He's thrown a changeup now, which has become a pretty good pitch for him. But his bread and butter breaking ball has been his slider. And right now he has the confidence to throw anything at any time.
0-2 the count. Just off the outside, knee high. 1-2. Denorfia is off to a very strong start, and he's coming off an outstanding series down in L.A. We mentioned he hit his only home run of the year against Clayton Kershaw at Dodger Stadium. The Padres swept that series after starting the season 2-10. Things could hardly have been worse. They were without both of their sluggers, with Headley on the disabled list, and Carlos Quentin serving his suspension. A curveball is a fair ball. Wow, pretty good hitting there. Now Pence, and he cannot get it. It looked like it hit him in the foot before he could pick it up, and it's a double for Denorfia.
Let's take a look at the defense playing behind Madison Bumgarner tonight, starting in the Giants outfield from left to right. It'll be Blanco, Pagan, and Pence. Crawford and Sandoval on the left side of the infield. Scutero and Belt will play on the right side, and Buster Posey will be in the squat, putting down the signs. And just like that, Madison Bumgarner's in the stretch, and that was not a hanger at all. What a nice piece of hitting from Denorfia.
Here's another guy who has been hitting well here lately, Everth Cabrera. A switch hitter, batting right-handed, .298 average. Pops the bunt up. Posey dives. No. Almost a spectacular catch, but not quite.
It's a nice round of applause for the effort. Ball up. He finds it very quickly. I think he thought he had a shot all the way till the very end. Just could not gather it in. You don't have a whole lot of pocket on pop-ups like that in the catcher's glove.
One strike to count to Everth Cabrera. Runner at second. He's trying to move him over, but also Cabrera with his great speed. Anytime he gets a bunt down in fair ground, he's got a shot to beat it out as well. The Giants stay shallow, and after showing bunt, he takes the ball inside. 1 ball and 1 strike. The crowd is a very late arriving crowd. A big crowd expected. Fireworks scheduled for after the game. But after the goings on in Boston this week, the terrorist attack at the Boston Marathon, the Giants, following the same lead of many teams around baseball, have taken extra security precautions. It might be a little more time consuming for people to get into the park tonight, as Denorfia takes third, a sacrifice bunt for Cabrera, and you saw that speed. It had to be a very nicely handled play by Pablo to get it.
Speed put so much pressure on a play. Runner at second, ball should go down the third base line, executed perfectly by Cabrera. And watch the play from Sandoval on an exchange, and you don't have time to begin with. He's got to go down low with the glove hand, make the exchange, and then rifle a strike, and he just does get him by a half step. Nicely done. But that's the pressure that speed can put on an infielder.
Now Chase Headley coming off a breakthrough season for him, and it's 0-1, chasing the high fastball. He had 31 home runs last year, which that's a good season for anybody anywhere, but considering the number of games he played at Petco Park, that was a rather amazing year. 286 average, 115 batted in. And it's 0-2. He chased another one up there.
The problem with Headley is he hasn't had a lot of at-bats coming into getting activated. And when that happens, you don't really have a great strike zone. Now, he normally stays in the strike zone. They know they can get him up. He does chase above the zone. And he's done it twice here. But normally he's pretty disciplined in the strike zone.
This is only his second game since coming back from rehab. Runner at third, 1 out. This one he laid off. And you like that idea? I mean, he's chased a couple. Why not see if he'll chase yet another one?
Absolutely. Climb the ladder. Guys that you can climb a ladder on, I mean, they can't stop themselves. Just keep going higher.
Just off the inside.
Good strike zone tonight for both pitchers. James Hoy, the plate umpire, is a low ball umpire, and he will give you some width on both sides of the plate. And he's another guy where you don't necessarily have to catch the ball between the knees to get a strike. He knows his zone. He sets it, and that's pretty much what you get the whole game. Good pitcher's umpire.
Tagging at third, Denorfia. Pagan, and the throw is way offline. Pagan did not have that strong an arm to begin with. And it is 1-0 San Diego. So Headley got it done, got his man home.
Nice at bat. Well, right now we're going to take a look at the key ingredients for this game. They're brought to you by Round Table. Round Table has captured real flavor. The new West Coast combo pizza made with fresh veggies, pepperoni, sausage, oven roasted chicken, mozzarella, basil, and a balsamic glaze. All just $16.99 for large, including online. Round Table, the last honest pizza. Number 1, feed off the crowd. Use this asset. It's the best one in the game. Bumgarner, early zeros. Well, early zeros from here on out. And the last one is Buster Get Hot. He has been in a holding pattern with that swing. He had a great session today in batting practice, and they're hoping that it carries into the game. And those are Round Table key ingredients.
Jesus Guzman, a changeup off the outside. Guzman, the former Giants farm system product. 240, 6 hits, 25 at bats with a double and 1 run batted in. Played 12 games in the big leagues with the Giants back in 09. Just off the inside. The count is 2-1. The Dodgers are back east. They're playing some interleague ball this weekend. The Dodgers and Orioles were scheduled at Camden Yards. That game got rained out. And it is 3-1. There have been a few rainouts around baseball today and tonight, plus a postponement in Boston because basically the whole Boston area was on lockdown today. 3-1 the count. That is foul down the left field line. 3-2. Twins at the White Sox were called off early today, about noon today, because of the cold, extreme cold and windy conditions. About 20 degrees there when they called it off.
Wow.
With high winds. The Dodgers now have been scheduled to play a day-night doubleheader tomorrow at Camden Yards, weather permitting. Off the foot. Ouch. 3-2.
That's one thing about the natural cut movement on the fastball from Bumgarner to a right-handed hitter. It's going to run flat into him between 90 and 93. And it's got a nice little hop at the end where it really kind of makes a little jump at you with a 3 to 4 inch slide. And you'll see a lot of guys break their bats, hit balls on the ground, and hit balls off their feet, their legs. And to watch the front side as Guzman plants and goes right above the ankle on the shin bone. And folks, this is turning on a 600-watt light bulb in your brain. It hurts. But with Bumgarner, we see it all the time, and I think just the natural movement of his fastball causes most of it. Now, the way you're taught is if your guy fouls one off his foot, you go back down and in again.
Well, the 3-ball, 2-strike count with 2 down and nobody on. A run is in for the Padres. And that is foul.
So they move with a changeup, and I want to point this out. This has become a project no longer. It's now part of his repertoire. He can rely on it. And when you see a pitcher able to throw that pitch 3-2, then you know he's confident with the pitch. If he throws a 3-2, he'll throw it any count. And he just threw a good one there. And that'll set up a fastball.
That one is hit well deep into left field and right beneath the tire of one of the cars out there. And the throw all the way into second from Blanco, but just a little bit late. Guzman with a double.
A 3-2. He doesn't want to walk him. He cuts a fastball right out of the plate at the belt. And Guzman, who we really got a chance to see this guy hit when he was a Giant, he's got a nice 2-strike approach, and he proves it here again.
This is Yonder Alonso. A strike in the outside corner. Alonso, second year with the Padres. He's hitting .309. 2 homers, 8 runs batted in. A .371 on base percentage. It's better generally against right-handers than lefties. And quickly the count is 0-2. Alonso 1 for 9 lifetime against Bumgarner. Although he has a home run. You see Guzman, on the other hand, has had a history of success against Bumgarner. That was his 4th double in 24 at-bats, plus a triple and a homer. He's done some damage against Bumgarner. 2 strikes to Alonso. He had 2 strikes on Guzman, but could not put him away. Diamondbacks playing in Denver tonight. 3-0 Rockies. Last of the 6th at Coors Field. Rockies are extremely hot. They've won 6 in a row. They have not lost a home game yet this year. The D-backs just coming in from New York, where they lost 2 out of 3 to the Yankees this week. Just outside.
Yeah, good teaser, though. That's a perfect pitch. You're ahead the guy 0-2, 1-2. You set that target off the plate, and if you miss by 6 inches, sometimes you swing, sometimes the umpire rings you up, but it sets up so many pitches. Tries to sweep a slider down the dirt. I mean, he can go hard stuff in on the hands. He can go soft with a curveball or a changeup on the outside corner.
And this is turning into a laborious inning for Bumgarner. This will be his 25th pitch of the inning. 1-0 Padres. Runner at second. 2 down. 2-2 the count. Strike 3 call. He got the call on that one. But the Padres have gone ahead. Pagan, Scudero, and Sandoval coming up. T Park, and the Giants batting order now presented by Audi. Truth in engineering. Angel Pagan leads off center field. Marco Scudero second base. Pablo Sandoval at third. Buster Posey back in there catching. Hunter Pence in right field. And Brandon Crawford, the red hot Crawford, in the 3 games in Milwaukee, he hit .583 with a couple of home runs, and he's also had an 11-game hitting streak, and he's been real hot during that too. He's hitting 6th. Brandon Belt at first. Gregor Blanco hits 8th in left field, and Bumgarner, the pitcher, up against Edinson Volquez.
Take a look at the numbers for Volquez. Off to a horrible start. He's 28 base runners and 12 1/3, and that's not like him. I mean, he's usually a quality arm. When you face Volquez, you're going to see a fastball that goes 90, 95, hard curveball and a changeup, and all 3 pitches are swing and miss pitches. You may have heard the phrase loose-shouldered pitcher. Well, this guy's that type of arm. He's really very, very loose shoulder, big-time external rotation, and it's a live arm. And his 6th year at the big league level. Not a big guy, 6 feet tall, 220 pounds, built more like a catcher than a pitcher.
Pagan, a switch hitter, batting left-handed, and that is in for a called strike. Now, the other part about Volquez, he does, as you say, have great stuff. Usually gets a lot of strikeouts. But patience can be a virtue against Volquez, as he tends to get wild. Change up way outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. He pitched This is his second game here at AT&T Park this year. He pitched here in the World Baseball Classic. Volquez from the Dominican Republic. And back out of play. High fastball. And it's 1-2.
Let's take a look at the Padres defense playing behind Volquez, starting in the outfield from left to right. It'll be Guzman, Denorfia, and Blanks, the best arm in center field with Denorfia, and Cabrera and Headley on the left side of the infield. Jerko and Alonso on the right side, and Nick Hundley will be in the squad putting down the signs.
1-2 the count. And he lays off that slider down and in. 2-2 the count. Volquez, who was acquired by the Padres in the deal that sent Matt Latos to Cincinnati. In addition to Volquez, they also got Yonder Alonso, Yasmani Grandal, and a pitcher named Brad Boxberger. 2-2 the count. Base hit to right field. We mentioned that the crowd is late arriving, a big crowd expected, but the Giants, as with several teams around baseball, and not just baseball, NBA, NHL, playoffs ongoing, but there's a line of people on the other side of McCovey Cove still making their way in because they have extra precautions, extra security, checking bags, and also wanding all the people coming in. So the Giants asked people to get here early tonight because of that, and I would assume that that will be in place all through the weekend here, so at least through the weekend. So you come in tomorrow or Sunday, you just try to get here a little bit earlier than usual, or a lot earlier than usual.
And our apologies for the inconvenience, but given the story that has come out of Boston, it is due diligence to pay attention to more secure ways of getting people in. So get here early, please.
Scudero. And that one is up over the backstop into the crowd. Pagan to second.
John, you made mention of the fact that Volquez at times can really wrestle with his command, and a lot of his problems come out of the stretch. But we've seen him with 3 pitches lock into a fastball and pretty much have to use it all day because the curveball and the changeup are not there. And once he gets in the stretch position, even that could go at times. So there are disadvantages to having a loose shoulder, and finding a slot and being consistent with it and controlling the strike zone is one of them.
Pagan in scoring position. The Giants trailing 1-0. Scudero trying to move him up, if not in. He was showing bunt before that last pitch. Headley in a little bit at third. 2-0. 3-0 now.
I know one thing. If Frank Robinson was the manager of the Giants, he would call timeout and he would tell that manager or the umpire to go out and have Volquez put his necklace inside his shirt. Frank would do it just to kind of upset a guy and kind of break his concentration, but that would definitely happen.
And that's a walk for Scudero.
Volquez taking a long look into James Hoy, asking him where was that pitch. Well, when you're all over the place, you can't expect to get corner strikes. I mean, that's a pretty good pitch, especially in 3-0 counts when a lot of umpires will look for strikes, expand the zone. And Volquez cannot believe it. Is that down? Is it outside? Is it what?
Pagan led off with a single. Took second on a wild pitch. Now Scudero has drawn a walk. And here is Pablo Sandoval, who is among the league leaders in RBIs right now. Pablo has knocked in 14 runs in the Giants' first 16 games. He's tied for third in the league in RBIs. He got the call on that one. A backdoor breaking ball. And it's 0-1. Pablo facing Volquez. He's 3 for 5. 2 singles and a double in 5 at bats in the past against Volquez. Sandoval hitting .293. 2 on, nobody out. And that's going to get the runners over as Alonso takes care of it. Pagan to third, Scudero to second, 1 away. And now Buster Posey will come up. Now maybe Pablo is disappointed because he didn't knock anybody in, but that is what they call now a productive out. Make it out, but you move the runners up.
A productive out, you'll take it. And they definitely set it up for Buster Posey. Now, in times when he's hot with an open base and a 1-run lead and 2 men on, you walk this guy, but right now he's been struggling. Padres going to pitch to him.
Buster could not get a run here without getting a hit. A ground ball to one of the middle infielders. You get the speedy Pagan home. A fly ball hit decently would do the same. Volquez, for his part, he wants a strikeout. In the dirt, ball 1. Now, as you mentioned, they might just put him on. They still might just pitch around it. Hope that he might chase one out of the zone.
I think guys who are command pitchers, they like this scenario here because if they throw anything close to the strike zone, it's going to be their pitch, their location. If you see a challenge fastball right out of the middle of the plate at the belt, I mean, that's a mistake. You don't have to do that with an open base. And Volquez, I mean, he can get ground balls. So I don't think he fears putting on Posey and setting up the force.
Infield swung around toward the third base side, playing him to pull. And it's 2-0.
And that's a perfect pitch in this scenario. The one thing that Posey was doing was he had too much lean in his swing. Didn't have great balance. His weight was out on his toes. So they wanted to get him a little more upright so that he had balance more evenly distributed on his foot. So he could push off basically on his back foot from his heel to the ball of his foot and maintain a good posture, which would give him a better look and much more coverage of the plate.
2 balls, no strikes to Posey. And it's 2-1. Staying with that breaking ball.
It's a nice 2-0 pitch. I mean, that's what you just can't give it to the fastball here. You pitch around the guy. You got an open base. You walk him, not the end of the world. Posey knows that.
2-1 the count. 3-1. Fastball.
Very patient. And Posey, I mean, he's not afraid to look breaking ball or changeup even in a 3-1 count. If he gets a sense that a guy's trying to softball him and he's not going to give him to the fastball, he'll set up for it. Padres giving up a run. They've got their middle infielders back. They're trying to stay out of the big inning.
Pagan at third, Scudero at second, 1 out. 3-1. Back to the slider and out of the strike zone, but Posey took a shot at it just in case.
I saw him grimace after that swing. He was mad at himself for going out of the zone. I mean, he wants it so bad. He wants them to be make contribution offensively. It's hard when you're a guy that produces numbers, RBIs and home runs. When you're not hitting them, you feel like you let your team down.
3-2 the count. That one is hit into left center. Denorfia, and Pagan will tag up and score. Scudero back to second. Buster Posey does knock in Pagan, and the Giants have tied the game.
Now Posey, I'm sure, will take that at bat. I mean, it's a 2-strike situational at bat where he comes up with a fly ball deep enough. And just as we had talked about it, you didn't see Volquez give into the fastball. It was a breaking ball middle in. Just a nice job of getting the job done that needed to get done.
6th RBI for Buster Posey. And here is Hunter Pence. And a base hit could knock in another run here. Scudero still out there in scoring position at second base. Hunter Pence, .262 average, 4 homers, 10 driven in. At the knees for a strike.
Yeah, that's a big time movement too at 94 miles per hour. That pitch right there showed you why Volquez is not an easy at bat. You can mix velocity, movement, and location, and put them all together in a 94 mile an hour package. It's not an easy thing to hit.
Looking back at Scudero. Now the pitch. Up the middle. Caught by Jerko. The Giants have tied it. Madison Bumgarner will go back to work. Second inning. 1-1. The Diamondbacks make their first visit here to San Francisco for the season. Monday and Tuesday nights at 7:15, a Wednesday afternoon game at 12:45. And by the way, the 5-day forecast, 77 degrees Wednesday afternoon.
Oh boy.
In the city by the bay. And there are dynamic deals for all three of those games, with the D-backs starting as low as $8. Whoa boy. $8. Check them out at sfgiants.com/dynamic deal. There's a strike to Jed Jerko, leading it off. Rookie second baseman for the Pods. Giants won, Padres won here in the second. And Bumgarner back to that changeup. 1 ball and 1 strike. Jerko spells his name Gyorko, but it's pronounced Jerko. Second round draft choice. 236 average. He doesn't have any home runs, but I think they think he's going to hit a few. Very strong. And the changeup, that's up and away. 2-1. Larvell Blank. Did I have the wrong Blanks?
Kyle Blanks.
Kyle Blanks. Used to be an infielder named Larvell Blanks.
Yeah, the Indians.
Kind of a cool name, I thought.
Old teammate of Dwayne Kuiper.
2-2 the count.
That is a cool name. But you couldn't see two guys more different physically than those two guys.
So Larvell Blanks is about 4'2".
Yeah.
Kyle Blanks is about 7'8". And that's the strikeout of Jerko. Second strikeout for Bumgarner.
Nice cutter. Well, our Mazda speed pitch will tell you that last strikeout pitch was 89 miles per hour. Engineered for the few who care about what they drive and the way it makes them feel. Because if it's not worth driving, it's not worth building. 89-mile-an-hour cut. Grab some pine meat.
Well, here is Kyle Blanks, and he is huge.
Yeah, he is big like Texas. This is not a big man sport, but you're 6'8". You're really. It's not an easy thing to do. Make a living with the bat. Hey, speaking of bat, Pat the Bat Burrell's here. At least in spirit.
And he's really changed since he retired. Here's a curveball, and that misses. 1 ball, 1 strike to Kyle Blanks.
Well, he's 6'6", 265. This guy here, he's 6'10".
Right there, outside corner with a fastball. Strike 2.
They say he hit a home run the other night against Clayton Kershaw. That was one of the longest ever hit by a right-hander at Dodger Stadium. Kershaw gave up 3 home runs to these guys.
Made it into the second deck in left field.
That's a bomb.
Deep left. Blanco squares up. 2 down.
And he just got under that one. He hit that thing well, but it was too high. He's scary. And right now, at this ballpark, it's not really protected by the normal winds. When the winds don't blow here, right field is open. And you get home runs from foul line to foul line. You can see how calm the bay is. It's like a big pool out there.
Usually on Friday night they had the beer can regatta from the South Beach Yacht Club. The finish line's at the entrance to McCovey Cove. But we're looking at a bunch of sailboats out there in the bay. Like, there's not much wind. They're not moving very well.
No.
They have to break out the oars. Check swing. Bumgarner's got it. The inning is over. Nick Hundley on an inadvertent comebacker. Brandon Crawford coming up. It's 1-1.
Pizza, and who's hot? Well, Brandon Crawford is hot. He is on fire. 11-game hitting streak. He's hitting .432, 16 for 37, and of those 16 hits, 3 homers, 3 doubles, and 7 ribeyes. That's hot. Papa Murphy's hot. Take a flashback yesterday. A solo shot. This is in a 2-strike count. He loves hitting in Milwaukee. But he was lighting it up all over the field, too. Doubles the opposite way, pulling to right field out of the ballpark. Putting on a clinic.
He's closing in on the top 10 hitters in the league. 352 average. He also is in the top 10 with on base average at 435. Brandon Crawford trying to get the Giants going here for the whole road trip. 7 games, Chicago and then Milwaukee at 478. Brandon Belt and Gregor Blanco to follow against Edinson Volquez. Called a strike on the outside. Each team with a run in the first inning. 1 strike to count. And Jerko bobbles it. Recovers in time. 1 away. Well, we were very saddened to learn that the all-time great Hall of Famer Willie Mays, maybe the greatest player ever to play for the Giants, and maybe the best ever to play for anybody, Willie Mays. And a sad day for Willie. His wife May passed away in her sleep early this morning. A moment of silence was observed here at the ballpark before the singing of the national anthem, and I know that we're joined by Giants fans everywhere in sending our sympathies to Willie, and our best wishes and prayers. Really, we see him a lot here at the ballpark, and always brightens our day when we see Willie Mays here. And he's still a Giant after all these years. But a sad day today. Oh, 2 to Belt.
So far, Velquez has gone after him with a changeup and a curveball. He's softballing him.
And the slider strikes him out. So 2 down.
So 3 pitches, a changeup to get strike 1, and then 2 curveballs. And this is a back foot curveball. You're trying to drop this thing down in the dirt on the inside corner and hope he swings over. And that becomes a frustrating at bat.
Belt swung a lot of those here in the last few days. That breaking ball off the plate on the inside. There's a bunt by Blanco, but it goes foul. 2 down, and Bruce Bochy has told Blanco, and in the past he's told Brandon Crawford when he's hitting 8th, that although generally with 2 down, a hitter would like to hit an extra base hit, get himself into scoring position. With the pitcher coming up next, they'd be happy to see him drop a bunt down, just get on base. And maybe the worst that comes out of that is the pitcher just doesn't have to lead off the next inning. Now Headley playing shallow at third. And by Headley, just off the tip of his glove. Tracked down by Everett Cabrera, who hurries it into second base. A single for Blanco.
Well, I mean, think back at some of the games he had on this last road trip, especially in Milwaukee, where he'd have 5 at bats, hit the ball hard 4 times and get nothing for it. Here, just sort of waves through a breaking ball and gets it right past Headley, who's a very good fielding third baseman. Hits him low on the thumb of the glove, and that winds up being a big league knock. I bet if you say, what percentage of your swing did you use on that thing? You'd say about 60% maybe.
It almost looked like what he did, he intended to do with that swing. I was trying to do that. I was going for that. 0-1 the count to Bumgarner. And it's a foul ball. So it's 0-2 to Bumgarner. The Padres had a hard time getting their team together at the start of the season, with Headley just back from the disabled list, but they're still without Carlos Quentin, another one of their sluggers who is serving a suspension. Because of his suspension, they're playing shorthanded.
Yeah, they don't get to replace a guy who's on suspension. They have 24 guys active tonight.
1-2. Also, Headley's back now, but Cameron Maben has been placed in the disabled list. Their regular center fielder, Gold Glove quality center fielder, adds a lot of speed and energy to their lineup. So he's gone now. And yet the Padres come in here on their first roll of the season, having swept the Dodgers in LA. And it's going to be a hit. Nice try by Jerko. He made the dive, got the ball, but could not hold it.
Well, that was an exceptional dive by Jerko, and if he does come up with it, I think he has a play even with the speedy Blanco going to second base. Right through the legs of Velquez. He has it in the glove for a second and just rolls away, so everybody's safe, and it goes as another infield base hit. Watch the reaction from Velquez. So maddening if you're out there on the mound and the ball gets between your legs. You're thinking you should be able to stop that one. As it was, it turned out being a nice stop by Jerko. Just couldn't do much with it once he slowed it down.
Well, and if he had not touched it at all, I think Blanco would have gone to third base. Pagan comes up. Pagan, who singled leading off the first inning, and then he scored the Giants' run. Now he's trying to knock in a run. Giants really started hitting well in these clutch situations right at the end of the last homestand and through most of the road trip. Pagan hitting .357, runners in scoring position for the year. That changeup called a strike. Gave him the low strike there. Pagan, he didn't think so.
Well, it's a pitcher strike, and you will see some low strikes from Hoy. You won't see many at the belt. And you'll see some width on those strikes, too.
1 strike to count to Pagan. Pagan's hit in the first inning, the first he's ever had against Volquez. Hasn't seen him a whole lot. 0-1 in the dirt. In fact, I think the last time he saw him was in the World Baseball Classic right here in this ballpark. Now Toyota by the numbers, the all-new redesigned Toyota RAV4. The RAV4 is here, and with up to 31 miles per gallon, it's ready for adventure. National League leaders with runners in scoring position. And the Giants are 5th as a team in the league. The Cardinals leading the league. The Cardinals have been really hot in those clutch at bats, and so have the Rockies. The Mets have done well, and then the Nationals. Number 5, the Giants. The Giants have done most of their damage in the last 8-9 games. Started slowly in that regard. Into the hole. Cabrera over to second. Bumgarner, not a fast runner. And Jerko gets the put out. The inning is over. 2 hits, 2 left. On to the third. It's 1-1.
The RAV4 is here, and with up to 31 mpg, wow, it's ready for adventure. Check it out.
1-1. Giants and Padres as we head into the third inning from AT&T Park.
Folks are still coming into the ballpark. It's been very slow to fill tonight because of the increased security at the gates. So again, a reminder, if you're coming out the rest of this homestand, allow for time. Get out here early.
Remember, tomorrow's game is a 6:05 start, 1:05 on Sunday. Volquez, and Bumgarner throws him a called strike. Volquez is 0 for 3 so far this year, 1 strikeout. Top of the order to follow. And it's 0-2.
I always watch Volquez, and I always liked him because he looks like he's so relaxed. He reminds me of Ivan Hernandez, who I always thought was the most relaxed big leaguer I ever saw. And this guy's not that far behind him.
Volquez, his career batting average, you saw there, .089. 16 hits and 179 at bats.
Well, that's an ugly swing right there. You're lucky to get a piece of that one. They tried to elevate that fastball by design. Usually, pitchers coming out of the Dominican, they're pretty good hitters.
Fouls another one. Volquez, he always had the great stuff, as you mentioned, Mike, and he's been traded for some pretty good players. Latos going to the Reds in the trade involving Volquez, although he was far from the only one, and maybe not even the key one. Straight back to the backstop. So he's fouled off 3 in a row. He once was involved in a trade that sent Josh Hamilton to the Texas Rangers. The Rangers sent Volquez to the Cincinnati Reds. So the Reds thought very highly of him.
Well, he's got great stuff. He's had it his whole career.
Strike 3 called.
Well, one common goal. The official Giants commemorative book about the 2012 championship season is here. The foreword was written by Buster Posey. The afterword was written by Matt Cain. Exclusive photos tell the story of a team that refused to give up. You can relive this great time in Bay Area history for only $40. This book is exclusively sold by Giants Dugout stores, so get your copy this weekend. We've seen it. It is fantastic, and you will love it.
Here is Denorfia. He led off the game with a double and scored the Reds' first run later in the inning. 1 ball and no strikes. 1 out, nobody on. Giants won, Padres won in the third. You bring up some of the memories of that great October run by the Giants last year. The story was so different last year than in 2010. It was very exciting, very inspiring, October of 2010. And last year, it was the story of seemingly impossible odds. The Giants down 2 games to none to the Reds, having to go to Cincinnati and win all 3, and they did. And then they faced the same long odds against the Cardinals. Here's Crawford. Denorfia is out number 2. Barry Zito pitching game 5 in St. Louis. The Giants had to win, and Zito was never better. Tim Lincecum became a weapon out of the bullpen, which also made that story rather different.
The whole story is just an unbelievable story. It's one of the most fun months that I've ever been part of. We've said that twice in the last 3 years, but we mean it.
Here's Cabrera. And I think that was it. Because you might have thought, well, how could you beat the story in 2010? It's just such a different story.
Now, the pictures they have in this book are just incredible. It really ignites a lot of old memories.
Cabrera pens in right field toward the corner. And it's a 3-up, 3-down inning, and 7 in a row retired by Bumgarner. Scudero coming up, then Pablo and Posey to follow. It's 1-1. Game 1 tomorrow at 2:30. Pregame live at 2 on Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area. Warriors playoffs on Comcast Sportsnet. Steph Curry leading the Warriors into Denver for Game 1. And Fitz, Barnett, Papa, St. Jean, Bucher, they'll all bring you all the action from Denver as the Warriors had a pretty good year. And they've got long odds themselves going into that postseason. And we'll see.
Well, we'll be watching.
1 ball to no strikes to Scudero, who walked his first time against Volquez. And that fastball, again with that movement that you pointed out, Mike. 1 ball, 1 strike. Brewers lead the Cubs tonight 5-4, last of the 8th in Milwaukee. And they're leading the Cubs even though the Cubs have hit 3 home runs in that game. Ryan Braun and Carlos Gomez have homered again for the Brewers in that one. And how about this? The Rockies are shutting out the D-backs at Coors Field. 3-0. It's the last of the 8th. The D-backs without a run for 8 innings there. Popped up. Alonso. 1 away.
Well, you talk about that Diamondback Rockies game. Yolis Chacin was the starting pitcher in that game. He had to leave the game in the 7th inning. He'd been dealing, allowed only 3 hits, and he had an oblique problem. So he left the field holding his side. And we know how serious that could be.
He had a 3-hit shutout going, 6 1/3 innings. Wilton Lopez finished the 7th inning, and then Rex Brothers, a scoreless 8th inning. They put 3 on the board against Ian Kennedy. Troy Tulowitzki hit a 2-run homer against Kennedy. Rockies are doing everything well right now. The only team that's been able to beat them really is the Giants. They've only lost 4 games, and the Giants took them 3 times.
It's been a crazy season so far.
Pablo Sandoval. A ball and a strike. Pablo, with runners at first and second, grounded out to first and moved those runners up. And that set up Buster Posey's sacrifice fly that tied the game. It's 1-1 here in the last of the 3rd. Facing Volquez. 1 out, nobody on. And that one hangs up and away. Pablo now 3 for 6 lifetime against Volquez.
Padres are giving Sandoval the line down the 3rd baseline. They've got Headley, the 3rd baseman, way off the line. I mean, that's a lot of room over there.
Ooh, changed up. Fooled him.
Such a good changeup. Now he's 41 pitches into it, and he's definitely established that pitch. That's a weapon. You can see just the great arm action he has through the pitch. It's just really one of the best sell jobs on a changeup in this division. When he gets it going, he doesn't even need a breaking ball. He can get you out with a fastball changeup combination. Kind of reminds you of Mario Soto back in the 80s.
2-2.
Mario Soto was a 3-pitch pitcher, a fastball 90-95. More 95s than 90s with an unbelievable changeup. And this is back when there were not a lot of really great changeups in the league. He had a nickel slider, but nobody ever even thought about that thing.
I think there were some people in the Reds organization who were thinking about Mario Soto when they first traded for Volquez a few years back.
I think that's an excellent point.
Ooh, just off the inside. Had a little of that movement coming back to the plate. 3-2.
Yeah, Volquez thought he had it. Little 2-seamer right here, front door sinker. Raise it back and let the movement come on the inside corner, and just missed it. Nick Hundley, who's an excellent receiver, does a nice job of framing that one. And he almost got the call.
Three and 2. And there's another big chop to Alonso.
That may have hit the bag.
2 down. Took a big bounce. And kind of surprised Alonso.
All right, let's take a look. Did it indeed hit the bag? Not even close. What am I looking at?
But it did take a bounce, and look how Alonso has to lunge for it. So Buster Posey, ball one. Buster hit a sacrifice fly in the first inning. 1-1 the score. Each team getting a first inning run on a sacrifice fly. Headley hit one for the Padres, and then Buster for the Giants. 2 down, nobody on. 2-0. That first year that Volquez went to the Reds, it certainly looked like a great trade for the Reds at that time. He was 17-6 his first year in Cincinnati. Made the All-Star team, but he got hurt the next year. Missed most of that season. Only made 9 starts, and then was between the majors and the minors the year after, and they traded him to San Diego. Last year he won 11 and lost 11 for the Padres. 2-1 the count. I think the Padres thought, when they sent Matt Latos away, well, we're going to get Volquez. He can give us a reasonable facsimile of Latos, and we get 3 young, really good prospects. Alonso's in the lineup tonight. Grandal came up late last year as a catcher, and I think they had high hopes for him, but now he tested positive for the some PEDs and is serving a 50-game suspension now. 3-1 the count. And over to the Giants dugout. Foul. 3-2.
We saw Grandal last year, last couple months of the season. He's really a good hitter. We're thinking, wow, this guy's figured it out quickly. So, I mean, there's always a bit of concern when a guy comes back off of PED suspension as to what you're going to get, what type of player you're going to have without the PEDs.
Off the outside, Buster gets a walk. Keeps the inning going for Hunter Pence. Volquez trying to sneak one across the corner there. You mentioned Grandal, Mike. Last year hit .297 in 60 games with the Padres. .394 on base average. He had an .863 OPS, which is pretty good to San Diego.
Yeah, he was impressive.
But now there's a question mark, and it'll be easy enough for him to erase that question mark if he comes back and just does it again. Here is Hunter Pence. And that changeup for a strike. Hunter hit a line drive, but caught by the second baseman, Jerko, his first time. Posey at first, and even though Buster is not really a threat to try and steal a bag under normal circumstances, Alonso, the first baseman, is on the bag with him, opening that hole up on the right side with Jerko shaded well over toward the middle. Just off the outside. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Kind of a hanging slider right there. I don't think that's what he wanted to do with that pitch. Although sometimes with a cutter, it's not a bad pitch to throw it off the plate, belt high.
A ball and a strike, depends. 1-1 in the third. 2 down. That's down the left field line over the head of Headley. Into the corner. Buster digging for third. The ball gets away. Buster being waved home. Cabrera will hold it. The Giants have a 2-1 lead. The double and sort of an odd carom. And Pence gets the run batted in. The Giants are ahead.
Well, Tim Flannery knew going into the base hit that Jesus Guzman in left field does not have a great arm. It's average at best. And you sort of watch how the ball is going to play. Now, you don't have great speed at first base, but it is 2-out contact, so Buster Posey is going to get a break. But here's where he gets lucky. The ball comes off the wall, comes back towards the middle of the field, and Flannery, no hesitation whatsoever. And Buster is chugging. And just like that, they have the lead. Nice 2-out knock by Hunter Pence.
Hunter Pence with his 11th RBI. His second double to go with 4 home runs. And now he's in scoring position too, and a hot hitter comes up. Brandon Crawford to try and knock him in. Crawford grounded out to second his first time. And that spins in there for a called strike.
It looks to me early on like the Padres are going to go after Brandon Crawford with a lot of soft stuff this weekend. They know he's red hot. He's riding an 11-game streak, hitting over 400 in that streak. Well, when that's the case, you figure a guy who's been hitting down the line has been seeing fastballs, and now they're going to softball him. They'll go at him with soft stuff early and then probably hard stuff late out of the zone. But you just have to be able to make adjustments when they adjust to you, and that's what hitting at this level is all about.
Crawford 16 hits in the 11-game streak. 432 average. And another breaking ball. He chops it foul, and he's behind in the count 0-2. Crawford hit 248 last year. And Bruce Bochy pointed out before the game that, hey, well, I'm not surprised, he said, by what Crawford's doing. Remember, he hit 280 the last couple of months of last year. He was an excellent hitter already in Bochy's mind. 0-2. And that one kind of hung there on the inside, pulled foul.
What he's done this year with 2 strikes has been commendable, hitting .393, and that simply ranks him best in the National League. Last year with 2 strikes, hit .184. There's your difference. And why is that? Because his swing is the same. He's not making adjustments in 2-0 counts, 0-2 counts. He has the same swing. It's relaxed. He's not overswinging. He's letting the pitcher supply the power on the pitch, and he's using the whole field.
And he struck him out. And he never did see a fastball. But Hunter Pence double has put the Giants ahead. October 3rd, 2010. Brian Wilson facing the Padres. He got his 48th save of the season. The Giants clinched the National League West on the final day of the regular season. And Wilson tied Rod Beck for the most saves in a single season in Giants history. That was October the 3rd, 2010, the 49th anniversary of Bobby Thompson's home run. The home run that was variously called the blast heard round the world, the shot heard round the world, the miracle of Coogan's Bluff. The Giants came from 13.5 games out and beat the Dodgers on Bobby Thompson's walk-off homer that won the National League pennant. And I remember it won the pennant even though I wasn't born yet, because Russ Hodges shouted, "The Giants win the pennant," about 12 times.
The greatest call in baseball history.
Chase Headley leads off, and it's strike 2. There's, remember 51, right alongside Russ Hodges in Baseball's Hall of Fame, the winner of the Ford C. Frick Award, one of the first to win that award. The great voice of the Giants. Oh, that hit him? I guess not. I don't know how it missed him.
Yeah, it looked like it did.
1-2.
And how does he get out of the way? I don't know if it caught a piece of his shoe or not. Apparently not. He's up there hitting, but it looked like it did hit his foot.
Curveball. Posey throws him out. That's the 4th strikeout for Bumgarner. Pretty good sharp curve. Got him swinging at the ball in the dirt.
And in 2 at-bats now, we've seen Headley go above the strike zone. We've seen him go below the strike zone. So clearly there's some rust in his eye in regards to his strike zone.
So Bumgarner, who's retired 8 in a row. In fact, he's retired the whole lineup of the Padres since Guzman hit a double with 2 down in the 1st inning. And here is Guzman. Bumgarner's retired everybody else since. Strike knee high on the outside with a changeup, and it's 0-1.
That's a circle change, and it's become a pretty good pitch for him.
Two to 1 Giants. Off the inside. Guzman was always considered an excellent hitter when he was in the Giants farm system, but he was also considered a guy didn't really seem to have a position. Looked to be more suited to be a DH. And although he did play briefly for the Giants, that's all it was, a brief look-see. But he went to the Padres, and they needed hitters. They were really shy of hitters, and Guzman, a couple of years back, had a very strong season for them. That curveball is in there for a strike. Guzman has not been able to repeat that excellent year that he had. Guzman in 2011 hit .312 for the Padres with a .369 on base. That's off the inside. 2-2. So he'll play left field sometimes, first base. Two to 1. The Giants are leading the Padres here in the 4th inning. 1 out, nobody on. Off the outside. Full count. 3-2 Guzman. Last year Guzman hit only .247. So he'd like to bounce back. Because he really had a long time in the minor leagues. He was not an overnight sensation.
Paid his dues.
He turned 29 in June. From Venezuela. Up the middle, base hit. He's 2 for 2.
And both in 3-2 counts, 2 strike counts. His last start Saturday in Chicago was fantastic. And he had the Cubs talking to themselves. 6 2/3 strong, couple runs allowed, 6 strikeouts in that game. And it was not an easy day to pitch. It was cold.
38 degrees was the game time temperature.
Yeah. And windy.
One out, one on. Here is Alonso. Yonder Alonso hitting .304. Left-hander against left-hander. Bumgarner had a shutout with 2 down in the 7th inning in Chicago, and then Deoner Navarro hit a pinch hit home run against him on the final pitch that he threw. Popped up, Sandoval gives chase. That's going to reach back into the crowd. A ball and a strike to Alonso, who struck out looking his first time in this game. It is 1 for 10 against Bumgarner.
It's my dad. Great shot, father and son. And neither one of those guys will ever forget that moment. That's a good one. Dad made a pretty good play. Barehander too, I might add.
He looked official too, like he didn't have his glove, but he had that little case. What is it, his binoculars? Sometimes you need little A little help to get a better view of who's up in the bullpen, whatever. We use them up here. That's a strike on the outside, 2-2.
All right, let's take a look at the catch. All right, up, it, bip, it. A long arm of the law. She was fighting for it. Gamer babe.
Pardon me, man, but I called it.
Long arm of the law right there. Oh, man, I used to call that the boarding house reach. Oh, yeah.
Hey, you're on TV. Mom says you're on TV.
Yep, that confirms it. It's official. YouTube, Facebook, you have just gone viral, pal.
2-2 the count to Alonso. Jerko on deck. And that is the strikeout. The 5th strikeout for Bumgarner in 3 2/3 innings. Oh, man, life is good.
Yeah, it is good.
So that was, he was looking up here at you.
Yeah. He says, they're talking about you up in the booth. Give him a smile.
Hey, catch a foul ball, you get some TV time. 1 ball and no strikes to Jerko. He struck out, leading off the 2nd inning. 2-1. The Giants ahead here in the 4th. 2 down. Guzman, the runner at first. Belt on the bag with him as Bumgarner checks him. And that cutter is topped foul on the count as a ball and a strike. Jerko is from West Virginia. And went to West Virginia University. Well, if you're from West Virginia, where are you going to go?
West Virginia University.
His older brother used to be a starting linebacker for the football program there.
Good pitch, just missed.
2-1.
I was going to say University of Pittsburgh, but we may have gotten some bad emails.
People in Pittsburgh think that he made a mistake.
They do.
Back to the bag is Guzman.
There's been some really great players. In my generation, there was 2 that I really enjoyed. John Kruk from West Virginia. Donnie Robinson, the caveman from West Virginia. Both guys that definitely conquered the fear of having fun when they put a uniform on. Good teammates, good players.
And now Jerko trying to prove himself in the big leagues. Big cut there. And back into the crowd. Did that go through the backstop? Or just hit off the top and ricochet in, or what? Somebody caught it right behind home plate.
Pay attention. It's kind of bad when you can't trust your backstop.
2-2 to Jerko. Jerko hit .404 at West Virginia, the all-time batting leader in school history. 2-2 the count. Right there, strike 3 called. He struck out the side, did Bumgarner. Dad caught one. There you go, young man. I love you, Dad. of tomorrow. Xfinity, your home for the most live sports. Adam Duvall this season in Double-A ball for Richmond. First 11 games hitting .378 with 2 homers and 10 batted in. Last year at San Jose in the California League, he set the all-time San Jose record when he hit 30 home runs and also added 100 RBIs to that. We saw him in spring training. Big, strong right-handed hitter, a name to remember. Keep him in mind. You may see him here down the road. Adam Duvall. Here is Brandon Belt to lead off for the Giants. And that goes foul. About, 40 feet up the first base line. It kicked off in foul ground. Now the breaking ball to Brandon Belt, who struck out on a breaking ball back in the second inning. He's 0 for 1. He'll be followed by Blanco and then Bumgarner, the pitcher.
Yeah, he's still looking for his first fastball of the night. Talked about how Marquez was going after Brandon Crawford. Well, he's doing the same thing with Belt. Slow, slower, and slowest. By the time you do see a fastball at 93 to 95, it looks like it's 116.
Base hit. Well, the other part of that is if you throw somebody breaking ball after breaking ball after breaking ball, somewhere maybe you're going to hang one.
You see, and that's a good point, because eventually you're going to be able to stay in your back leg. And when you stay in your back leg, you're going to keep your hands back. You're going to be able to use the whole field. This has got hang on it. That's a fastball right out there just below the belt. And the fact that he's seen so many off-speed pitches, he stayed back and he was able to do something with it. And that's why, you got to go fastball off-speed, fastball off-speed. Let him go front and back. Call rocking the cradle, north and south, however you want to define it. But that's all about getting guys' weight confused. He can't use his feet right, can't shift his weight right.
Blanco. And out of play off the third base side. Blanco, he kind of swung, but he didn't fully swing. Just slapped at the ball and hit it just off the glove of the diving Headley back in the second inning for a base hit. So he's 1 for 1. 365 on base percentage. Big hole open on the right side if he could pull one with first baseman Alonso on the bag with Belt. Headley shallow at third because of the threat of the bunt. 1 ball and 1 strike. He laid down a beautiful bunt in Milwaukee a couple days ago for a base hit. He's had a look at third base coach Tim Flannery here. Orange Friday here in San Francisco. 2-1. The Giants are leading in the 4th inning. Belt steps back on the bag.
Well, I like what Blanco could do with the bat. I mean, he's very creative in the number of different looks he could give you. He could drag bunt, push bunt, slap bunt. And he's got a lot of things that are above average bat skills. And he's not afraid to try them. I mean, I think that has to be pointed out as well.
Back out of play into the second deck. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Blanco came out of nowhere last year. He's on a minor league contract for a look-see in spring training. And he had a very fine spring and became a key man, especially after the suspension of Melky Cabrera. It was a tower of strength, especially with his glove in left field. Did he swing? Yes, he did. Plate umpire James Hoy made the call himself. 1 away.
Well, the NBC Bay Area Investigative Unit, led by Tony Govalewski, they're an award-winning team of 14 journalists dedicated to holding the powerful accountable. The Investigative Unit on NBC Bay Area, a very powerful unit. They investigate. We investigate.
I have no comment.
Sorry, that makes you guilty, pal.
Says, I want him to investigate me. Here is Bumgarner showing bunt. And he bunts it foul. He had an infield hit his first time. Belt still at first, 1 out in the 4th inning. 2-1. The Giants are leading. Hunter Pence with a 2-out double to knock in Posey in the third is the difference in the game right now. Bumgarner showing bunt there, but Volquez knows if he grooves one here and Belt swings away, he just might launch one. Got excellent power. Belt will make it to second. Alonso to Jerko at first to retire Bumgarner. First baseman to the second baseman covering. Now a runner in scoring position, and Pagan will try and knock him in.
Perfect execution. I think the point has to be made. He got out there and showed it early. When you do that, you will freeze your corner infielders. And it also puts you in a position to be able to get back into the Butcher Boy in slap position much quicker, in much better balance. Nice job.
The Butcher Boy, meaning he squares the bunt, and then the pitch comes in. He brings the hands back together and swings away.
If you show bunt late, then you have to go forward, then back, then forward. There's too many things going on. But if you go out there and show that bunt early, you only have to go two ways, back and forward.
Pagan trying to knock in a run here. 2 down. In the dirt. With the breaking ball. 1 ball and no strikes. Pagan singled in the first inning. A liner into right field, and eventually scored the Giants' first run on a Buster Posey fly ball. Then he hit into a force play to end the second inning. Belt at second, ready to run to the crack of the bat. That changeup, got the call as it ran away from Pagan. Pagan shaking his head. Oh no, that was way off the outside. Come on.
That was his 67th pitch, and I'll bet 35 of pitches, maybe even more, have been changeups and curveballs. Now, Pagan thought this pitch was outside. But again, we talked about the strike zone of Hoy, and it's been that way all night long. It's been low. He has given width on both sides of the plate.
And remember, it's not where the catcher catches it. Looked like by the time the catcher caught it, it was outside. But it's where the umpire judges the ball was when it reached the plate, when it hit the front edge of the plate. And Hoy thought it was right in the outside corner. 1 ball, 1 strike to Pagan. Belt ready to run. And that is caught. Went down and golfed it one, but Jerko was there to catch it. And we head to the 5th inning. Bumgarner back to the hill. Visit Dodge.com or your Bay Area dealer today. Dodgers at the Orioles interleague plate, rained out in Baltimore. A day-night doubleheader tomorrow. Royals at Red Sox postponed. The city was on lockdown today, and no A replay of that game has been announced. Yankees over the Blue Jays up in Canada, and Robinson Cano remains red hot. And the Rays a 4-run first to beat Brett Anderson and the Athletics 8-3 in St. Petersburg, Florida. Giants will play in St. Pete later on this summer. Here is Kyle Blanks, and he takes outside for ball one. Blanks hit a soaring fly ball. It was caught on the warning track in left field. His first time. Huge right-handed hitter, enormous power. He's only had 12 at bats. Hit a home run against Kershaw, tape measure shot in LA a few days ago. A ball and a strike now. The Rangers beat the Mariners 7-0 in Texas. Craig Gentry had a nice game. The Angels leading the Tigers 2-0. Last of the fifth down south. White Sox postponed because it was so cold. It was snowy and windy. And Houston into the five-game losing streak. They beat Cleveland 3-2. Lucas Harrell got the win over Brett Myers. Rick Ankiel hit his 4th home run for the Astros.
He's been hot or cold. His hits have been home runs, but he's got some unbelievable streaks of strikeouts.
2-2. Yeah, I think last I saw he hit about 160. But most of his hits have been home runs. That's out of play. I'm looking it up, Mike. Ankiel, 194 now, but 4 home runs, 10 RBIs. He's got a 194 batting average, a 194 on base average, so he hadn't walked. And a .613 slugging percentage.
Wow. How many at bats? How many strikeouts?
And a strikeout for Bumgarner. I had the answer if you want to ask me about Bumgarner.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mike, that's 7 strikeouts for Matty.
That's good information. Well, the official grand opening of a new Giants dugout store at the ballpark is tomorrow at noon, and you can stop by the corner of 2nd and King Street across the street from Momo's to visit with Gregor Blanco, Rennell, and myself. We'll all be there. The Giants dugout store will be releasing a limited new era cap packaged in a custom designed box commemorating the Giants' 7 World Series championships. So check it out tomorrow. Giants dugout store right next to the Orlando Cepeda statue.
And it's 0-1 to Nick Hundley. The pitcher, Volquez, is on deck. By the way, I've looked up that info on Ankiel. It's unbelievable. I don't think I've ever seen anything quite like it. Maybe for a pitcher. He's had 31 official at bats, Ankiel.
Yes.
6 hits, 4 of them home runs.
Yes.
No walks, 21 strikeouts.
Oh, man. Now that's outhouse or castle right there.
He struck out 21. Now, really. And he's a former pitcher, but only pitchers strike out 2/3 of their at-bats. No swing on appeal, says John Hirschbeck. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Giants ahead 2-1. We're in the 5th inning. 1 out, nobody on. Hundley on a check swing hit one to Bumgarner, his first time. That's a called strike 3. Man, Bumgarner is racking up the strikeouts now. That's 6 in the last 2 2/3 innings.
Now he's going right through this Padre lineup the second time through. This is the 8th guy he's faced the second time through. He's got 5 strikeouts, and this is a nice frame job. Just tucks it in, and James Hoy rings him up. He's had 8 strikeouts. 4 have been called strike 3s.
And a called strike to Volquez, who was called out on strikes his first time. Pretty good rip there by Volquez, but back to the screen. Strike 2. For Bumgarner, 8 strikeouts in 4 2/3 innings. Each of the last 5 guys that he's retired, he has struck out. He struck out the side in the 4th, and each of the first 2 guys here in the 5th. And he strikes out the side for the 2nd inning in a row. 9 in 5 innings. Scudero, Pablo, and Posey coming up. dealer. Visit Jeep.com. Pirates shut out the red-hot Braves. 2-hitter, 6-0 final. It was 2-1. The Marlins over the Reds. The wins have been few and far between for Miami. The Phillies 8-2 over the Cardinals. That game was called off after 7 innings, so a rain-shortened victory for the Phillies. And the Mets over the Nats. That was the game featuring the two hotshot young guys, very impressive young pitchers. Strasburg got lit up a little bit by the Mets there, and Matt Harvey, who's the new Strasburg apparently, and he had been almost untouchable at the start of this year. The Brewers held on, beat the Cubs 5-4 at Miller Park, and the Rockies, although the D-backs got a run in the 9th inning against Betancourt, succumbed at Colorado 3-1. The Rockies are 12-4 and still unbeaten at home. Bay Area native Troy Tulowitzki hit his 4th home run of the year in that one. The question with the Rockies was simply, did they pitch well enough? Well, they're pitching extremely well early on this year, and that was, you pointed it out, to Violes Chacin was the starter, but also even in the win, a little concern there because he left with what was looked like maybe an oblique strain or something.
Could be an oblique strain.
Edinson Volquez and Scudero. It's a bounding ball to short. Cabrera, 1 away. Scudero's 0 for 2 with a walk.
Giants Baseball is brought to you by Honda. Get a great deal during the really big spring event now at your Honda dealer.
And that's the classic shot from over in Marin, Fort Cronkite. That's a great outing. Just go hiking up, see the ruins, some of the World War II gun emplacements and
gun turrets,
fortresses, gun turrets. There's the San Francisco Bell out on a dinner cruise for the Hornblower fleet. AT&T Park is a regular stop when there's a ball game going on. Here's Pablo Sandoval. He twice has grounded to first, and that's ball 1. 2-1. The Giants lead here in the 5th. I remember when I was getting ready to marry my wife Janine, and we were going to move to Baltimore because I was living in Baltimore. We sat there in Fort Cronkite looking in through the Golden Gate at the city. You know, we have views just like this in Baltimore. That's out toward Death Valley. The wide open spaces, and Blanks goes back to get it. Even in San Diego, I think that one is a home run.
Yeah, he just got AT&T'd. You know, two things really work against you when you take on the gap with a long fly ball. I mean, you really have to hit a line drive through the triples alley, because right fielders really cheat off the line to protect that gap, and they play deep. And even a guy like Blanks, who doesn't have great range, able to run down that fly ball. Any other ballpark, the Pandas round in the bags, it's a round tripper. Here, it's a big league hang with him.
By the way, speaking of Petco Park, they moved the fences in a little bit, and they made the height of that wall in right field less than half as high as it used to be.
Giants are going to get a chance to see it next weekend when they go to San Diego. First city in a 2-city road trip. They go to San Diego and Arizona.
And I think that'll be our next NBC Bay Area Giants television network telecast will be next Friday from Petco Park. So we'll take a good close-up look at what they've changed. 1 ball and no strikes to Buster Posey, who has hit a sacrifice fly, knocking in a run. And then he walked and scored a run in the 3rd inning. So he hasn't had an official at bat tonight, but he's had a direct hand in both of the Giants' runs. That one hangs a little bit up to the inside, called ball 2.
They're really bunching the gaps, defending Buster Posey. They're giving him the line in left field. I mean, look at the room over here. That's enormous, and that's pretty much what you normally see with him in right field, but they're really pinching the gaps.
Another breaking ball for a strike. 2-1.
Okay, it's almost like he doesn't believe in his 95-mile-an-hour fastball. And he is really throwing a lot of curveballs and changeups. But to his credit, I mean, he locked into a nice rhythm with those pitches about the 2nd inning, and he's been riding it pretty hard.
2-1. There's a fastball. Left center field. Pretty deep. And no. DeNorfia just never even seemed to get in the picture. He was happy to let Guzman go after it, who's not a very good outfielder, and Guzman couldn't handle it. A double for Posey.
I mean, that's a bit of surprise. Denorfia is the fastest guy in their outfield, and he's got great range as an outfielder and good hands. And the point you make about Guzman is very good. I mean, I'm thinking right there that Denorfia, he kind of let up. I mean, that's a ball that should be caught. And I think that may be something that Denorfia gets asked when he gets back to that Padre dugout. You're the captain out there. You're the guy at center. You got to take those corners.
And I will say, in fairness to Denorfia, Maben is the regular center fielder. He's just been placed in the disabled list. Denorfia, usually we see him in right field or left field. Here is Pence. And that's ball one. Pence hit a double to knock in Posey with 2 down and back in the 3rd inning. Base hit to the outfield could do it here.
Maybe that's how you climb out of a slump. Sac flies, walks, and a break.
Just a little bit low. 2-0.
Volquez cannot believe it. He thought for sure that was there. He's got him shaking his head. They set up in the outside corner. This thing goes across the inside corner, and they don't get it. That's a strike.
So it's 2-0 to Hunter Pence. Ooh. Well, he ended up chasing one there on 2-0. So it's 2-1.
Yeah, that's a quality 2-0 pitch right there. Now, we talked about the situation earlier when Buster Posey was up and they had runners at second, third, and open first base. And it's a similar scenario right now. And Volquez is not going to give in to Hunter Pence. Not with an open base.
This time he took it. Almost the same pitch. 3-1. There is Brandon Crawford on deck. And Crawford has been a hot hitter. Three and 1 the count. Posey at second with 2 down. Change up. 3-2.
I can't remember the last time he threw a fastball.
It got called a ball, and he was shaking his head. And
that's it.
Hasn't thrown one since.
Overrated.
Well, he's shown some outstanding off-speed stuff. So if you're Pence, could be almost anything coming here. 3-2. And back to the changeup, and he walks him.
I think he pitched him beautifully. And that last changeup is really with an open base. I mean, that's a tough one to lay off of. You're trying to take advantage of an aggressive hitter, and RBI guys are aggressive hitters. They expand with runners in score position. And that was not an easy take for Hunter Pence, but a good one. And Darren Balsley, the pitching coach for the Padres, is going to come out, I think, more than anything else, just to give him a breather. He's at 82 pitches now. A lot of his night has been in the stretch. He has not had a 1-2-3 inning.
Giants have had 9 base runners in the game. And as you say, they've had at least 1 base runner in every inning. In fact, there has been only 1 inning where they had only 1 base runner. That was the 4th inning. And even then, the leadoff man got on base in that inning. So here is Crawford, who has grounded out to second and struck out. 3rd time for him to see Edinson Volquez.
And he has not seen a fastball tonight.
.339 average for the year. Now the Padres bullpen is going to start working. We're in the 5th. 2-1 Giants. 2 on, 2 out. And there's a fastball, but he just kind of showed it to him. Didn't throw it for a strike. It's 1 ball and no strikes.
That's a healthy fastball, as you see Anthony Bass, the right-hander, starting to get heated up.
Posey at second. And Pence at first. Belt's on deck. Pence, who runs well at first. Way outside with the changeup. 2-0. Volquez 3 walks in the game. He's also thrown a wild pitch. The thing he had not done much of is strike people out. He has only 3 strikeouts. So a big pitch for him here. 2-0 to Crawford. And that's a fastball, but way away from the target. That was completely on the opposite side of the plate from where the target was, and he didn't get the call. It's 3-0.
Brandon Belt, chalk it up. Wants to hit this inning. And a good AB his last at bat against Volquez.
Three and 0. Fastball for a strike. 3-1.
Pace has gotten very slow here in this inning with Volquez. Very deliberate.
With 2 down in the inning, Posey got the double out into left center. Ball that probably should have been caught. Then Pence walked in a 3-2 pitch. Now it's 3-1 to Crawford. 2 on, 2 out. And it was late on that fastball, a foul tip. 3-2.
That's a quality fastball right there. 93, painted the outside corner.
Well, this will give Posey a head start, which is important. Posey not a fast runner. Will help him score on a base hit to the outfield. 3-2. There go the runners. Denorfia back and now waiting. And the inning is over. 2 hits for the Giants, but 2 left. Still 2-1 on to the 6th. Is brought to you by Ford. Need some help at the pump? Test drive an efficient new Ford today. It's the right choice for California. July 10, 2009, the Padres here, and that was strike 3 called in the 9th inning. And for Jonathan Sanchez, the final pitch of a no-hitter. And it was very nearly, he was so good, it was very nearly a perfect game. There was an error committed behind him, and there was his dad. The first time his dad had come up from Puerto Rico and had a chance to see him pitch, and he saw him pitch a no-hitter. And a great moment here at AT&T Park back just not so many years ago. There's ball 1 to Chris Denorfia, leading it off. Top of the order for the Padres here in the 6th. Denorfia has scored the Padres' only run. The Giants ahead 2-1. Denorfia doubled, leading off the game. At the knees for a strike. Denorfia grounded as short as last time. Everett Cabrera on deck, and then Chase Headley is due up third.
I always talk about the importance of getting that leadoff hitter out.
Broken bat. Crawford. And they get the leadoff man. Denorfia a fast runner. One away.
Well, get up to the minute you're up. And do it with Today in the Bay. See breaking news, your weather forecast, and real-time traffic. Watch Today in the Bay. Weekdays starting at 4:30 a.m. right here on NBC Bay Area.
Madison Bumgarner, who has 9 strikeouts so far. He has not walked anybody and has only allowed 1 man to reach base since the first inning. Here's Everett Cabrera. Has had a sacrifice bunt and has also hit a fly ball to right. Officially 0 for 1.
That is the recipe for success. Always like the old saying in baseball, you get strike one, you get the first out of an inning, you score the first run of a game, and you're going to win a lot of games. But in a game like a 2-1 ball game, you get into the 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th inning. That leadoff guy is huge, especially if he has speed. So sending Denorfia back on the bench, it's a big out.
Denorfia also can create a little trouble when he's on first base. He's a guy who could steal a base. Got to be concerned about that. Everett Cabrera, the guy who can drop down a bunt, can hit and run, and he's got explosive speed. 0-2 the count to Cabrera. Headley on deck.
Cabrera definitely has worked himself into a good little player. He definitely has learned how to use his tools.
Well, he came into this game with a .394 on base average for the season. Off the inside.
You know, a lot of guys who are small in stature and have speed, like Cabrera, you know, they go through the minor leagues and they'll hit a few home runs. And then they'll try and do that. And anytime this guy has an at-bat where he hits a fly ball, it's a bad at-bat. It should be line drives and ball on the ground. Bunt. Use your speed. Keep it out of the air.
Just off the inside. 2-2.
Most important statistic for a guy like Cabrera is on-base percentage and runs scored. Those really are what you're all about. You're a table setter. Get on base for the big boys.
Well, he was an outstanding base stealer last year, but of low on-base average. That's a foul. Cabrera had 44 steals last year and got thrown out 4 times. However, his on-base percentage only .324. That's too low when that's your game.
Well, there's a worthy recipient. She'll be happy. I love it. I love it when the kids get a ball, because that's it. They're good for the night.
Strike 3 called, and Cabrera unhappy about that call.
Kind of reminds me of that strike 3 from Jonathan Sanchez and his no-hitter. All right, let's take a look. They set up on the outside corner. Does it go across the plate? No. But it hits the glove and he doesn't move it. And that's how you stretch the zone as a catcher, with a wide target. And when you have a dart thrower like Madison Bumgarner, you're going to get some wide calls.
Ball 1 to Headley. 9th time in his career Bumgarner's had 10 strikeouts or more in a game. He's got 10 strikeouts here in 5 2/3 innings, no less. 2-0 to Headley. Headley has hit a sacrifice fly to center and struck out. Giants ahead 2-1. Bumgarner has been excellent, and he's had to be. Giants have only put 2 on the board in his support. 2-1, and he got him chasing that high fastball again.
I've never seen him go out of the strike zone as much as he has tonight.
Bumgarner's career record for strikeouts, by the way, was against San Diego 2 years ago, down at Petco Park, when he struck out 13. Time taken. Headley backs away.
Well, you come through the amateur ranks and into the early stages of professional baseball like he has. He struck out a lot of people to get here. And he knows how to do it. And it'll happen once in a while when you'll get it going. You get a nice wide strike zone to work with. You'll start pitching for him.
That one is hit well. Blanco back. It's gone. Just over the wall. That one came back in the field, but the second base umpire, Bob Davidson, immediately signaled a home run. It was off the glove of a fan up there just above the wall. So the Padres have tied the game on a Chase Headley home run.
Little breaking ball drops middle in right there just below the belt. And Headley gets home run number 1 of the year. And not by a whole bunch either. How close was it? Yeah. Close.
And I think we may have missed the guy actually touching the ball in that shot, but I think he was clearly up above the upper plane of the wall. And I don't think Blanco was going to be able to go get it. 1-1 now to Guzman.
One more look at the effort from Blanco, clearly over his hand, but Giants fan back there with his glove. Can you get an E10?
I think Blanco and the Giants would like to have seen what would have happened if he hadn't touched it at all.
I don't think he could have got there.
It didn't look like it to me, but I remember the first year of this ballpark, the first week of games here, Barry Bonds went back for one, and the guy wearing a Barry Bonds jersey stole one away from him. Remember that?
I do.
I think it was maybe the 5th game played in this ballpark. Arizona was in. One of the Arizona catchers hit one out there. And Barry got pretty frustrated too, because he went up. Now here he goes, Blanco. Well, the guy definitely had his glove out over on the field side of the wall. Let the guys play the game. You don't want to be the next Bartman.
No, you do not. He's never been seen again, by the way. At least not at Wrigley Field.
Pablo. Just in time. Nice throw. Guzman retired for the first time. This game is tied after the Headley homer. Brandon Belt coming up. Ball is brought to you in part by Jack in the Box. Right near the entrance to the Lefty O'Doul Bridge from across McCovey Cove to the beautiful baseball oasis in downtown San Francisco, AT&T Park. I'm John Miller along with Mike Krukow, your Giants telecasters on NBC Bay Area and the Giants Television Network. Start of a 6-game homestand for the Giants, and they're in a 2-2 tie now. Brandon Belt leads off against Edinson Volquez. Little bloop, shallow left, a long run for Guzman. Can't get there. It's a single for Belt.
And I think he's feeling like he's owed a few of those little Texas leaguers. A lot of balls hit hard in this last road trip where he got nothing for it. This, however, a thing of beauty. Right off the end of the bat with a 2-seam fastball running away with him. Sometimes if you don't hit it too good, it's a good thing. And never apologize for one of those if you're a hitter.
So now Blanco is up, and the pitcher spot due up after that, but Mijares, a left-hander, is up in the Giants bullpen, and Nick Noonan, a left-handed hitter, has come out on deck. The Padres are going to get some action going in their bullpen now. Swinging away, back to the screen.
Well, I think getting up Jose Mijares and let the Padres know that they just might pinch hit for Madison Bumgarner. Got that pitch, that fastball for Blanco.
He's got that big open hole on the right side. There's Noonan on deck, the would-be pinch hitter. The first baseman, Alonso, is on the bag with Belt at first, so there's an opening on that side if he could pull one. The third baseman, Headley, is shallow because of his speed and ability to bunt. There's throw to first, and easily back is Belt. Belt has 2 steals, by the way. Every once in a while he picks his spots well, and he'll go for it. 0-1 the count. Dale Thayer has started warming up in the Padre bullpen, a right-hander. Padres only have one lefty in their bullpen, by the way. Bumgarner has only pitched 6 innings, and he's pitched well. There's Buddy Black, former Giant pitcher, Padres manager.
Good manager.
Bumgarner has thrown 99 pitches in his 6 innings. 1 strike to count. He hit it through that hole, base hit. And Belt will stop at second as Blanks fields it in shallow right.
Blanks has an average arm, but still, I mean, he's playing shallow. Not the time to gamble. I wasn't 100% sure they were going to pinch hit Madison Bumgarner. I mean, they're going to leave in the game now for sure because it is a bunt situation. He is a good bunter. I mean, he's sitting on 99 pitches. He has another inning in his arm. Whether or not Bruce Bochy wants to have him throw it. And he may still be out of this game, but he is definitely going to bunt here.
So Belt at second, Blanco at first. Has to be a good bunt because there's a force out at third base. Padres playing for the bunt, pulled into both third and first. He's already showing the bunt. He swings away. And there's a tag for one, over to second. Double play and away from first.
Almost a triple play.
The Padres had the wheel play, otherwise that's a base hit. A standard bunt defense. The shortstop was breaking to cover third, right behind Headley.
Unbelievable. And you can see Headley doesn't have a lot of range because he's so close, but with Cabrera coming over to third, he's right in the perfect position. Just an incredible bad break for the Giants. I mean, Bumgarner does everything right, and he almost hits into a triple play.
So Belt gets tagged out by Cabrera, who happened to be right behind the third baseman. And then the throw to second, just in time for the second out, and Jerko was trying to turn that into a triple play.
He almost did. I mean, the mistake in the running department really was Brandon Belt had to stop. He cannot run into a tag. You got to stop and make him come to you. You got to try and prevent the double play. Allow that runner going to second base to get there.
There's ball one to Pagan. So Bumgarner is the runner at first with 2 down. I don't know if I've ever seen anything quite like that one before. Because the Padres had the special, like the rotation play, the wheel play, whatever you want to call it, where the third baseman can charge the bunt and the shortstop breaks to cover third, except he wasn't bunting. And so Headley had a backup. Wow. Some profound bad luck for the Giants. 1 ball, 1 strike, and that foul. Pagan is 1 for 3 in the game.
Well, Madison Bumgarner is a good hitter, and when you get him fastballs, he can do some damage. And in a bunt situation, you as a hitter are going to see fastballs. And Mochi trying to take advantage of it. I mean, Bumgarner does everything right, and he gets burned. I mean, if that ball gets through, it's 3-2. The runners are first and second, maybe first and third.
If we'd had a mic right down there in the field, maybe we would have heard Chase Headley scream when he saw him swing away when he was like 50 feet away from home plate. And a wild pitch puts Bumgarner to second. Two to 2 the score. I remember seeing the Padres here one night. I think you and I were doing a television game together. A previous third baseman before Headley came along, Kevin Kuzmanoff, grounded into a triple play. Grounded right to third, stepped on third, threw to second, threw back to first. Triple play. But this would have been a triple play for the books if they'd actually completed it. So now Bumgarner at second. He's not a fast runner, though. The outfield kind of bunched up towards center. Cabrera. And the inning is over. Giants have not had a hit all night with a runner in scoring position. On to the 7th. It's 2-2.
Through Wednesday, April 22nd through the 24th, the 22nd, 23rd, 2 7-15 games, and then a midweekday baseball game on Wednesday starting at 12:45. You can check out dynamic deals for all 3 D-back games starting as low as 8 bungeros. Go to sfgiants.com/dynamic deal and get on board.
New pitcher for the Giants, Jose Mijares, and perhaps he's in only to face one hitter. We'll see. The left-handed batting, Yonder Alonso, takes ball 1. Giants have the right-hander, Contos, warming up in the bullpen. And the Padres have a long list of right-handed hitters scheduled to follow. Alonso here in the 7th. 2-2 the score.
You see the numbers for Maharas. One thing that I thought he found on this last road trip was his slider. That had been a pitch that had been pretty inconsistent for him since he went through some problems with his arm in spring. And that is a pitch that requires more strength than the fastball. And his at times would get a little lazy on the break, but in this Chicago series, he found it.
There's Contos, number 70, the right-hander. And we'll see what Bochy has in mind here. But he's got the lefty versus the lefty here. Padres do have 4 left-handed hitters available on their bench. Here's the 2-1 pitch. And Scudero, plenty of time. 1 away. Alonso, the first time he's put the ball in play. Bumgarner struck him out twice. And why not? Bumgarner was striking everybody out tonight. He had 10 strikeouts in 6 innings. And yet Bumgarner leaves in a spot where he cannot get a win. 10 strikeouts and no walks.
Had a good workout, though.
He'll stay trim. He had a hit. He almost hit into a triple play. Had to run like the wind to avoid that. They have shaved off a few pounds tonight. So Contos is coming in. We'll be right back.
Game live before game 2 of this series. We'll be back with you on NBC Bay Area and the Giants Television Network Friday, April 26th, right at 7 o'clock, as the Giants will play the Padres at Petco Park in San Diego. So tomorrow's game, a 6 o'clock start. You can see it at 5:30. This pregame. It will be Clayton Richard on the hill taking on Tim Lincecum.
For the Padres, Jed Jerko, the hitter. He has struck out twice. George Contos, the third Giants pitcher. Fastball just missing. Maybe a little bit low. 1 ball and no strikes.
Contos numbers: 8 base runners in 9 innings. I mean, the ERA is bloated, but it really was one outing that did him in. 8 strikeouts in 9 innings. That's a good thing.
A ball and a strike to Jerko. And Kyle Blanks is on deck. And slider right to Pablo. Wow. Jerko just clobbered that ball, but right at Pablo.
Well, I think the way he took that second pitch in a 1-0 count, he took a fastball down and in. And lead me to believe that he was looking for this the whole time. Slider up just a little bit above the knees, and he puts a good charge into it. Pablo, however, had him played perfectly.
So 2 down, and here is the very dangerous Kyle Blanks. Blanks, who hit a fly ball and was caught on the warning track in the 2nd inning, struck out in the 5th against Bumgarner. That slider in for a called strike.
Javier Lopez starting to get heated up. This is bullpen time.
Well, the Padres have 4 left-handed hitters sitting on the bench. Fastball to the outside, strike 2 called.
Perfect location with 92 at the knees.
Two to 2, 7th inning. Giants have out hit the Padres 8-4. Struck him out with the slider. Now it'll be Scutaro, Pablo Sandoval, and Buster Posey coming up.
The full line of Jeep vehicles. Visit Jeep.com to learn more. All tied up here, 2 apiece as we head to the bottom of the 7th inning. Giants are going to give the Padres the heart of their lineup with Scutaro, Sandoval, and Posey due to come up, and the Padres will make a pitching change. It'll be Dale Thayer, the right-hander, 32 years old, in his 2nd year at the big league level, 6 feet tall, 215-pounder, and he throws hard. He got a fastball that goes low to mid-90s. Off to a great start. 11 strikeouts in 7 innings. Got a hard slider and a changeup. And his slider is his #1 specialty pitch. And right now he's pitching with a lot of confidence.
Did some closing for him last year. Scutaro has walked, popped out, and grounded out. Giants, who for about a week and a half were hitting extremely well with runners in scoring position. Tonight 0 for 8 in those crucial at-bats. But they've had chances to score more runs than they have. They've left 8 men on base in 6 innings. And a fastball right in there for a called strike. It's 2-1. Scutaro, new pitcher, in for the bullpen. Kind of an old school thought there. It appears that he was saying, this is make this guy throw a strike before I start swinging. And he pops this one up into shallow center. Cabrera backpedaling, look out, and it's the taller second baseman Jerko who catches it right over the head of Cabrera.
Well, one thing about the Padres, it's sort of been their philosophy, and I think it really started to be defined clearly when they moved into Petco Park. Such a big ballpark. Very difficult to hit home runs, especially opposite field. When their relievers come in, they pound the outside part of the plate. They just wear it out. Very seldom do they just go in the middle end part of the plate with a fastball. They just stay away, away, away.
Thayer in relief of Edinson Volquez, who went 6, allowed 2 runs, 8 hits. Pablo with the foul. 0-1.
And there's that slider on the first pitch from Thayer. It's a lot of strikeouts with that pitch, both with righties and lefties.
Pablo's grounded out to first twice, and then he hit one extremely well, but to the wrong part of the ballpark. Out into the big gap in right center, out toward the 421 marker. Fell about 20 feet short. Fastball missing. 1 ball, 1 strike. 94 miles an hour with that fastball.
All he wanted to do there was move his feet. Who do you think this guy's rooting for?
Ooh. Pablo fouled that one right back to the screen. 1-2.
And that was in the Pablo happy zone. And he just missed it. It's one he'd like to see again.
Well, he got on the fist there, and Headley, another guy much taller than Everett Cabrera. Everett keeps going for all these little pop-ups, but the taller guy keeps catching him.
And he got him out on the inside corner. Twice he went in there. One time bad here on the payout pitch. And he ran that thing up the bat well, and that's not an easy thing to do with Sandoval. Nice pitch. Yep, Buster's your MVP.
On 1. Buster has hit a sacrifice fly. He's walked and scored a run, and he has doubled the left center. So he's only had the 1 official at bat. He's 1 for 1. Slider in the dirt. So he's had a hand in both of the Giants' runs. Hunter Pence on deck. In fact, when the Giants got their second run, it was the same spot that presented itself to Posey as the one facing him now. Bases empty, 2 down. He drew a walk in the 3rd, and Pence doubled him home. Oh. Chase that one. 1-2.
Anytime you see a big league hitter break down that late in the swing, he's fooled by the movement. And that was a late snap on that hard slider. 3 pitches, 3 sliders. And Buster Posey was fooled.
1-2. Fastball. Going back in right field. Blanks on the warning track under it. And the inning is over. On to the 8th inning. Hundley, then the pitcher spot due up. It's 2-2.
The Warriors into Denver for Game 1. And Warriors will play tomorrow at 2:30. Pregame live at 2 p.m. And you can see it right here on Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area. Follow the team that covered your team all season long on the home of the Warriors Basketball Network, Comcast Sportsnet.
Giants 2, Padres 2 as we head to the 8th inning. The Padres up against George Cantos. And Javier Lopez, the left-hander, is up again in the Giants bullpen. Nick Hundley, a right-handed hitter, to lead off, and then the pitcher's spot. And it looks like Amarista, a left-handed hitter, has come out on deck for the Padres. All the bench players for the Padres are left-handed hitters. 1 ball and no strikes to Hundley, who has hit a comebacker on a check swing and has been called out on strikes. 0 for 2 against Bumgarner, now facing Cantos. Slider tried to check, couldn't do it. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Such a deceptive slider coming out of the hand of Cantos. It's not the normal spin. Doesn't have the normal eye of the slider. And you'll see a lot of guys break down mid-swing with his breaking ball. It's a good one. Plus, it's an acute break. It's a straight down bite because of the high release.
Well, he chases that one with a big full swing. 1-2. Now Santiago Casilla, a right-hander, has gotten up alongside the left-hander Lopez. 2-2 the score in the 8th. And another slider dug out of the dirt by Buster, who tags him out. 1 away. 12th strikeout by Giants pitching.
I was going to say, I mean, that's a pretty impressive stat. And in the end, it was another slider that Hundley's just not picking up. All 3 strikes in this at bat came by way of the slider. And here, a swing and miss C out of the strike zone. That's not one he'll be thinking about for very long.
So here is Amarista, the pinch hitter for Thayer. Amarista, another diminutive in stature Padre middle infielder. Built a lot like Everett Cabrera, although I think if the two of them go out, Cabrera's the big guy.
Oh, if they have a jump ball, Cabrera easily. He wins that race.
Cabrera listed at 5'10", Amarista listed at 5'8".
Well, your old partner for years, Joe Morgan, was not a tall man in stature. And I think he's about the same size as Amarista. In fact, Amarista may be smaller than Joe. But the Padres are hoping he develops into a guy like Cabrera.
Here's that slider, a swinging strike. 1-2. Amarista, they got him from the Angels last May when they traded Ernesto Frieri to the American League team. Amarista hit .240 for the Padres last year, 275 at bats. He had 5 home runs. That was foul down the right field line. 1-2. Amarista is from Venezuela. Stole as many as 38 bases one year in the minor leagues, so he runs fairly well. I don't know that he runs as well as Cabrera. 1 out, nobody on. We're in the 8th inning of a 2-2 game. And he fights that one off.
Well, Amarista's pretty quick. I mean, he's a guy who has similar skills, as you point out, but I think where his growth is going to have to be is what Cabrera has learned to do, and that's bunt. Well, this guy has hit some home runs somewhere down the line, and he likes the long ball, and he's got to get that out of his game. He's got to get more to ground balls and line drives, drag bunt, push bunt.
Still 1-2.
I mean, that's a big swing for a 2-strike hack. And that's where he's going to have to get quicker. On base percentage, this guy's game. But he definitely has the type of ability you can be patient with. Good looking young player.
And a pop up. Scudero. 2 down. Amarista, by the way, you talk about the home runs that he hit last year. And one of them was a grand slam that put them ahead of Houston in the top of the 9th inning. And that was his first career home run. He was the first player in Major League history to hit a go-ahead grand slam in the 9th inning or later as his first career home run.
Oh, that's a cool first home run.
Strike call to the outside to the leadoff man, Denorfia. Then later on, he had 2 homers in the same game in Denver. Then he went 0 for 40 right after that.
This is what happens to those little guys. They start thinking home run, and that back shoulder drops. They start to get elevation, and they're done. Ooh. He got away with a hanger there. Denorfia's got pop. He can take advantage of a mistake like that.
He hit one a couple nights ago against Clayton Kershaw at Dodger Stadium. 2 down, nobody on. 0-2 the count. On the run, Pence, no. And it skips by him into the first archway. And Denorfia's got a double.
Boy, 2 times tonight he's gone that way on really pretty good pitches. His first double of the night off of Bumgarner back in the first inning was a remarkable swing of the bat. And look at the target. He's way out there, a little hang time. Doesn't quite get out of the strike zone. And a nice head down hack, high back shouldered swing, back spins it right out there past Hunter Pence, who is protecting the gap. It's good at bat.
So the switch hitting, Everett Cabrera's coming up, and Santiago Casilla in from the Giants bullpen to face him. We'll be right back. Two-two tie with the Padres, and the Padres have a runner in scoring position with 2 down, and Santiago Casilla will try and keep him from scoring here in the 8th inning.
Off to a good start, 1-1 with a 2.25 ERA. And you know, this guy, since when we first saw him with the A's a few years ago, he's a 2-pitch guy, and really not very creative with the fastball. Now he's doing 2-seam fastballs, 4-seam fastballs, curveballs, sliders. And this year he's come up with a changeup, and it's a pretty good one. So he can give you a lot of looks, and he's got a lot of confidence to throw them. Any count, not a problem.
Now the Padres, Madison Bumgarner was so dominant that the only other time tonight where the Padres had a batter come to the plate with a runner in scoring position was the first inning. This is the first time they've had that opportunity since then. And it was Denorfia again. This time with a 2-out double. He's at second. Everett Cabrera. And the curveball hangs up and away for ball 1. Luke Gregerson is up in the Padres bullpen, a right-hander getting ready for the last of the 8th. Giants have Pence, Crawford, and Belt due up. And right now the Padres threatening to go ahead. Base hit could put them ahead. Denorfia, a fast runner at second.
Pretty shallow set in the outfield defensively for the Giants too. Gregor Blanco way shallow.
Cabrera's had a sacrifice bunt. He's flied out to right and been called out on strikes. That is in there. On 1 ball, 1 strike count.
Cutter taking out strike 1 in that outside corner. A lot of these times, these guys who have history against Casilla, they're facing him, and he's surprising him with a pitch they haven't seen him throw. That's such a great weapon to have, especially if you can save it for a 2-strike surprise.
There's Scudero in a hurry. Got him. Cabrera very fast. D'Onofrio stranded. Pence, Crawford, and Belt coming up. AT Park invited the fans here in solidarity with the people of Boston to sing an 8th inning signature of Fenway Park, Sweet Caroline, the old Neil Diamond song, and they sang it with gusto.
Well, they had fun with it. A lot of respect, a lot of care and concern for the city of Boston as they deal with their tragedy. We saw something days after the bombings. They sang Sweet Caroline at Yankee Stadium, which I didn't think you'd ever see. And they nailed it.
And I think a lot of them sang it grudgingly, but
well,
they get everything they had. So it was kind of a poignant moment there and a poignant moment here. Hunter Pence leads off for the Giants. Luke Gregerson has taken the mound for the Padres with a slider for a called strike to Hunter Pence.
You see the numbers for Luke Gregerson, just 5 base runners in 7 innings. Only 3 hits allowed, 6 strikeouts against 2 walks.
Cabrera in shallow left. And Pence is now 1 for 3. He had an RBI double back in the 3rd inning. And the Giants have not scored since. He also had a walk in the 5th inning. But here is Brandon Crawford.
Gregerson didn't have the fastball that he used to have. And now he's a high 80s fastball. It used to be low to mid 90s with a hard slider. And I'm talking about one of the best sliders in the division. Maybe even all of the National League. Still good stuff, though. But kind of a 2-pitch guy. Fastball, slider, go get him.
Brandon Crawford had had 16 hits in his last 11 games, at least 1 in all 11 of them. Tonight, he's grounded out, struck out, and a fly ball out, so he's 0 for 3. 2-2 in the 8th inning. 2-0.
Gregerson does not give up a lot of home runs. I mean, he's got a lot of downward bite with both his pitches. Fastball got big time sink. Slider got big time snap downward.
He's only allowed 3 hits in 7 innings this year. There's that slider outside, 3-0.
Sergio Romo heating up.
Three and one. Brandon Belt on deck. Each team scored a run in the first inning. There's Belt. Giants got a run in the third for a 2-1 lead, and then Headley's homer in the 6th tied it. 3-2.
It's a quality 3-1 pitch right there. And to Brandon Crawford's credit, he's not swinging at it. You don't want to swing at that one 3-1.
Over to the Padre dugout, right in under the hands with that one. For a long time, even before Buddy Black became the Padre manager, it seemed like a big part of the Padre game is getting to the late inning relievers. And they had a 7th inning guy, an 8th inning guy, and a 9th inning guy. For a long, long time, that 9th inning guy was Trevor Hoffman, one of the best there ever was. And that's still pretty much the way Buddy Black is doing it. Get to those late inning guys. And he fouls that one. Still 3-2.
Well, Brandon Crawford not fooled on it. He's got good swings at it.
Padre closer these days is Houston Street, a veteran closer. Padres have only won 5 games, though. Street hadn't had that many games to close. But they have played their best ball of the season this week, riding a 3-game winning streak. Struck him out. And he stayed with that slider until he got him.
And you say, well, it's a 3-2 pitch. How can you swing at this ball in the dirt? Well, because you think it's going to be a fastball down and in at the knees, and you go down to cover it, and it just disappears.
Two down. Here's Bell.
Yeah, 2 hits tonight. He's 1 hit away from getting off the interstate.
Belt struck out in the 2nd, singled in the 4th, singled again in the 6th. 2 down, nobody on. And Jerko throws him out. So the Padres bullpen has shut down the Giants for 2. We're going to the 9th inning. Chase Headley, the power coming up.
Area BMW centers. We go back to the third inning, 2 outs, Buster Posey at first base, and that's when Hunter Pence stepped up against Edinson Valdez, and he hits a rake double right down the line. And watch the bounce come off the wall, it caroms away, and Buster Posey comes all the way in from first base, and that's our BMW drive.
Santiago Casilla now to face Chase Headley, the man who hit 31 homers last year, and he hit his first of this season back in the 6th inning tonight. He's batting right-handed against Bumgarner when he hit the home run, batting left-handed now against the right-handed slants of Santiago Casilla. Two and 0.
That's what happens. I mean, a guy with a reputation with hitting 30-plus bombs last year, and he comes into this year, he's trying to find a strike zone, not really doing too much. Hadn't had a home run. Guys are charging that strike zone. Now all of a sudden he hits one home run. They start nibbling again. And here was that home run in the 6th inning. It was a breaking ball up. Looked like a slider that just had some hang time and just barely got it over the glove of Gregor Blanco. And that's why we're tied.
Second player in Padres history to lead the National League in RBIs. Last year with 115. The only other Padre ever to do it was Dave Winfield, now in the Hall of Fame. Winfield had 118 batted in to lead the league back in 1979. 3-1. And yet, despite the great year that he had, the big breakout year, most of the talk about him is that the Padres possibly trading him sometime this season. Three and 1 the count. And now it's 3-2. He also won the Gold Glove last year. Quite a season.
Yeah, I really don't understand why they would trade a guy like that, because they're improving every year, starting to put things together. He's a guy you build around.
And he had a great finish to the season. He was as good as he was all year. He was even better in August and September. 3-2. Struck him out.
Good sinking fastball for the payoff pitch. He got the second strike with it, went right back down to an even better location down around the knees. And watch the movement as this thing snaps away. See you later. A beautiful pitch. And anytime you can send power back to the bench by way of a strikeout, a tie ball game late, you've done your job.
One out. Here is Guzman. Another dangerous hitter. He's already had a double and a single tonight. He's 2 for 3. 1 ball and no strikes. Now Houston Street, the Padre closer, heads down to the right field bullpen. Romo, a right-hander, and Lopez up in the Giants bullpen. And that one had a little cut to it on the outside, and it skimmed right off the end of the bat of Guzman. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Look at some quality location pitches. Did it on a 3-1 pitch, did it on a 3-2 pitch, here in a 1-0 pitch. He takes away that count leverage from a hitter with perfect location.
And a curveball. Ooh. And where he caught it, not a strike, but maybe when it reached the plate, maybe it was.
Did not miss by much, but he shook to get to that pitch. Posey wanted to go hard stuff.
Two to 2. We're in the 9th inning. Quickly to his left. Crawford. He got him. Nice play.
The thing that is impressive about Crawford when he goes to his left and he gets into a 360 is how quickly he sets up and how accurate his throws are. And that is a bullet to Belt. And watch the footwork as he gets planted on his right leg. A little hop skip right there. It squares him up to Belt. And then here comes the cannon right to the chest. And Casilla appreciates the effort.
2 down. Here is Yonder Alonso. Strike on the outside with a fastball. Alonso, the 5th place hitter, has struck out looking, struck out swinging, and he grounded out to second in the 7th. He's 0 for 3. Came into the game hitting over 300. 2-2. 2 down, nobody on in the 9th. Jerko, right-handed hitter, on deck, would be next. And Lopez up in the bullpen because of Alonso, you would guess, but I think Bochy must like what he's seeing so far tonight from Casilla, who has had pretty good success against lefties and righties.
He's got a lot of weapons, a lot of different movement, a lot of different pitches, and he has command of all of them.
Look out. Right into the Giants' dugout on the third base side.
There's not a lot of wind at this ballpark right now. The flags are limp out in right center. Not often at nighttime that this ballpark will play small, and tonight is one of those nights where you will get carried.
Mark Grusbeck, assistant trainer, over asking Torres if he's okay. 0-2 the count. Back out of play right beneath us into the second deck.
Yeah, that's a perfect elevator fastball too. Right exactly where he wanted to put it. Alonso did well to fight that one off.
Two down, nobody on. 2-2 to score in the 9th. A little wind picks up, blowing out toward left field. Struck him out. Blanco, then the pitcher's spot, and Pagan due up. Last of the 9th. Here we come. Padres 2. And for the Padres, an entirely reworked outfield configuration. But Luke Gregerson, who retired the Giants in order in the 8th inning, stays in. Padres now have Blanks, who was in right field, moving to left field. And Denorfia, who was in center field, moving to right. And Will Venable now in center field, and he'll be slotted in the spot in the order where Guzman had been. Guzman is out of the game. Blanco leads off. Bluffs the bunt, takes a little bit low. 1 ball and no strikes.
Well, the Padres definitely improved themselves in the outfield with their arm strength. Norfia in right field, we've talked about his arm. It's a good one. Venable has a good arm in center. Average arm to left with blanks.
1 ball, 1 strike. Out on deck is Nick Noonan. There's blanks now in left field. He had been in right field. Venable takes over in center in the number 4 spot in the order, and Denorfia from center field over to right field. Much better defensive outfield than it was. Swinging bunt, shallow left, and that's a base hit.
I love that thing. That is a thing. That's exactly what that is.
That's his 3rd hit. He was not happy either when he left the batter's box.
Oh, he thought it was going to be caught. There's a pop-up. But, if you have this kind of back control where you could drop a little pop fly between the shortstop and the left fielder, you're a genius. But, folks, he hit balls hard in Milwaukee and got nothing for it. He's owed a few of these, and this is definitely one of those. And a huge break for the Giants as they get speed on base to lead it off.
So the possible winning run is aboard now as Andres Torres comes up as a pinch hitter for Santiago Casilla. Torres could bunt. It could try a little hit and run action. Back to the bag is Blanco. And what about his delivery to the plate, Gregerson? Can you get a jump against him, you think?
Yeah, he's right around average. I mean, he can be deliberate, but he can be quick. When the base stealer on, he can get rid of it quick.
Torres rolls it foul, trying to bunt.
You saw Gregerson move out of the stretch. I mean, that was about as abbreviated as he could get. Not much of a leg lift at all. Just a little tucked in knee and a slide step. So it was all that Nick Hundley would need. Nick Hundley throws the ball well. Has a very good unload time out of the catcher squad. So if you steal a base against these two guys, you got to earn it.
Now, that bunt went foul to the third base side as Blanco is back safely. It went to the third base side, and Headley was right on top of him, way down the line from third. Generally speaking, you want to bunt the ball and make the first baseman field it because he gets a later break. He has to wait till the ball is thrown before he can leave the bag. Well, that's right back to the pitcher. So very poorly done by Andres Torres. The only silver lining is that Torres could steal his way into second base now after bunting into a force play.
I mean, the little things like fundamentals are so important in situations like this. For Gregerson, in the easy play, he comes down there, positions himself to get a throw out to second base, and it wasn't even close. So a wasted out. Now, whether or not he'll try and make up for it and steal a bag here, that remains to be seen. Outfield's going to back up here. This is doubles defense time.
Also, Pagan, a switch hitter, will bat left-handed. And as long as he's at first, then Pagan's got that open hole to shoot for. Pagan is 1 for 4. Torres back to the bag. Torres has not stolen a base so far this year and has not attempted a steal yet. Two to two. Runner at first, 1 out. 1 ball and no strikes.
Now, Gregerson is a little frustrated with the strike zone. He thinks those are strikes. I don't believe they are. But he does.
Posey and Pence exchanging thoughts in the dugout. And again, Torres back to the bag. Torres, when the Giants won the World Series in 2010, Torres had 26 steals that year. And even though he had a lot of injury problems the year after and did not hit well in 2011, he still had 19 steals that year. There he goes. The throw up and away. So he's into second base.
And of all the pitches that Gregerson has had that inning, this inning, that was his slowest unload time. And kind of a nasty sinker that kind of had some late movement on Hundley. I think he was fooled by the pitch, and that caused the errant throw. So all of a sudden, that inability to get that bunt down is forgotten.
So now a base hit could win the game for the Giants. A base hit to the outfield. Torres, great speed.
We got stolen base. The three outfielders came in about 10 steps. It's no longer doubles defense.
Now they don't want any kind of a hit at all. Down the right field line, base hit, and here comes Torres. The Giants have won it. And they come pouring out of the dugout to jump on the back of Angel Pagan.
Don't hurt him. And this place is barking right now. The first pitch slider. He's got to get a strike, so he'll elevate just a little bit. And that's all Pagan needed. He went up there looking for one thing, and he got it. Rakes it. And once it hit the wall, this game was over. And watch Torres. He knew off the crack of the bat. And an easy stand-up score, and let the party begin. The losing streak's over.
And they were ready to celebrate after those 3 straight losses in Milwaukee. The Giants beat the Padres 3-2. We'll be back with more from San Francisco.